Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, My So-Called Healthy Life. I gained a pound. I gained a whole pound, you guys. I did have some of these salted caramel cookies from Fresh Time. Well, a whole container. That could have probably been it, but I'm okay. I'm back on track, so we're not going to talk about that today. I just don't feel like talking about it. There are just some days that you just don't want to talk about your diet when people are like, oh, how's your diet going? You're like, I just don't really want to talk about it. It's there, you know, like white hair. It's just there. We don't need to always talk about it. It's just a given. So anyway, I want to talk today about a meditation. I haven't actually had a chance to read any meditations today, and this is the last video that I'm making, and then I get to relax for the rest of the night, and I'm so excited. So I thought, well, why not do a little meditation? And I have Mr. Pee-Pee here with me. He's so excited. He's like, are we gonna watch scary movies and maybe have some good healthy food? And then we're gonna get to go outside a lot. You wanna go outside in just a sec? Oh, he loves to go outside. So let's read today's meditation in the Daily Book of Positive Quotations, which is called Hidden Images. And I have no idea what that's gonna be about. But this hair just keeps on wanting to hide over there. Okay, Hidden Images. A rock pile ceases to be a rock pile the moment a single man contemplates it, bearing within him the image of a cathedral. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. The garden we think is a mess may be, to someone else, a rich example of natural plantings and nature's diversity. The man we find a crashing bore is, to the woman who loves him, a fountain of wise words and kindness. Our perspective shapes everything, but we can open up the view if we want to. Once someone has pointed out the beauty of that messy garden, we may never see it in the same way again. Once we look at the crashing bore through another lens, we too may see the wisdom and kindness. My view of things is not the only way they can be seen. I will try to understand the perspectives of others and use them to widen my own. Okay, I really had to contain myself while I was reading that because our front walkway is a complete mess. I cleaned it twice this summer, or my brother-in-law cleaned it once. I did it once. I don't want to do it again, and our HOA, our homeowners association, is so pissed that we won't clean it. And so I just want to go the next time they come to my door, because she just came this week, and she's like, what are we going to do about this? I'm like, I don't know. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? But anyway, I love when it says here, the garden we think is a mess may be to someone else a rich example of natural plantings. And then it goes down here and it says, once someone has pointed out the beauty of that messy garden, I love when the next time she walked up for me to say, well, don't you see the beauty? I mean, it's just so beautiful. Don't worry about cleaning it. But that's not really how the real world works, is it? But I will tell you what's interesting is that I was listening to this guy the other day speak, and he was talking about when he got sober early on, that he was so bored, and he said to this, he was just sitting around one day, and he was going to meetings, and he was sitting at this place waiting, and he said to this woman that had been sober for 40 years, he goes, I'm so bored. And she goes, well, then you must be boring. That must be so sad for you. And I thought, that's such an interesting perspective, isn't it? That when people say they're bored, is it because they're really boring? Go find something to do, read a book, plant a flower garden, or make a meal, or drive around, or I don't know, draw a picture, or make a list, do something, watch a TV show. But I think that's an interesting perspective, is that when we sit here and we go, oh, I'm so bored. Well, is it because you're boring? Maybe that is why, But I don't think we really want to look introspectively at ourselves at times. So I think it's interesting. My view of things is not the only way they can be seen. I will try to understand the perspectives of others and try and use them to widen my own. One of the interesting things about doing videos on my main channel, the drama channel, is that I really only just state one point of view, my opinion. And a lot of times I try to say on there, I can imagine what it might be like for them at this age, or I can imagine what it might be like for them this, or whatever. And I really try to put myself, in their shoes, like Atticus Finch said, to walk around on their front porch for a while and see what it's like. It's interesting when I offer suggestions or I offer opinions, and listen, nobody has to listen to me, right? It's just one opinion. We all have opinions. Everybody knows that. Opinions are we all have one. But it's interesting the people that are very quick to just go, they don't want to listen to it. And I'm like, okay, so you choose to not remain teachable. And remaining teachable, I think, is one of our biggest assets in life. That when somebody brings us something, you don't always have to agree or disagree with it immediately. You can sit back, not react, but respond and take it in and go, that's interesting if they think that way. I think a lot of times also we have to look at where that perspective comes from. If a perspective comes from a friend of ours that cares very deeply for us, or a family member that cares a lot for us, or a loved one, whatever, coworker, then if they're giving us feedback, typically it's because they want us to be successful, right? But if it comes from somebody that doesn't like us, then equally, are they just trying to put us down, put us in their place? Why should we take that perspective into hand? And so I think in those situations we have to ask, well, why is it that you're explaining this to me? Well, I just, well, then maybe that's a perspective that I choose not to take. But I do think it's important to stay open to all perspectives, because we may learn something about ourselves, or we may learn more about the other person. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.